We all agree that today, most people who smoke are men. But what if I told you that, in the beginning, cigarettes were actually made for women? At that time, smoking was seen as a symbol of women's rights. Later, however, it turned into a symbol of masculinity. Tobacco companies spent billions of dollars to portray smoking as a sign of power, elegance, and progress. The sad reality is that one single company has been responsible for taking the lives of more than 50 million people. In today's video, we are going to look closely at the most dangerous addiction in the world, cigarette smoking. We'll explore where it came from, who first introduced it, and how one company managed to dominate the global market. My name is Abdukafi, and this is AK Media. Welcome! If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If we want to understand cigarettes and addiction, we must first ask an important question. Who was the first person to ever think of smoking? How did the idea even come to his mind, to roll dry leaves in paper, light them, and inhale the smoke? The first people to do this were the indigenous people of the Americas. They considered smoking sacred. They believed that the smoke of tobacco connected them directly to the spirits they worshipped. For them, smoking was not a pastime, it was a religious ritual. History tells us that this practice remained only in the Americas until 1492, the year Christopher Columbus arrived. When Columbus saw the local people holding sticks and inhaling tobacco smoke, he was shocked and amazed. He had never seen anything like it before. Not only him, but all the men traveling with him were equally astonished. When they decided to return to Europe, they carried with them tobacco leaves. This is how the custom of smoking reached Europe and began to spread across the world. At first, smoking was limited only to kings and the wealthy elite. If a person smoked, it was seen as a sign of wealth and high social status. Soon, tobacco companies started marketing cigarettes to women, especially women from the upper class. They promoted it as fashionable and a symbol of sophistication. Over time, smoking moved from the rich to the poor, until it became a habit for everyone, rich and poor alike. Eventually, it grew into a business worth billions of dollars, rivaling even the gold and silver trade. By the 19th century, what had once been a sacred ritual for Native Americans had turned into the most widespread addiction in the world. Young and old, men and women alike, became addicted. This gave rise to hundreds of small tobacco companies. But one of them would soon rise above all the rest. A company called Philip Morris. Before we continue, let's remember this. Cigarettes are one of the deadliest killers in the world. Every year, they are estimated to take the lives of more than 8 million people. Smoking is also the leading cause of cancer. So, if you have never smoked, be grateful. And if you are a smoker, do your best to quit. The purpose of this video is not just to warn, but also to give you a clear understanding of where smoking began, and how it became what it is today. Let's go back to our story. The name carried by the company Philip Morris comes from the man behind it. Philippe was born in 1835 in London. His father owned small shops in London, where tobacco was sold. When Philippe was only 12 years old, he used to help his father sell tobacco. After coming back from school, imagine a small boy of 12 years old, learning how to sort different types of tobacco and their quality, and also helping customers choose the cigarette that suited them best. When this boy grew up, what kind of experience would he have? At the age of 19, Philip Morris decided to move to New York. In 1854, he had only $5 in his pocket. At that time, many Europeans were traveling to America, because they believed it was a land full of business opportunities. Anyone could become rich in a short time. Philip was going to be one of them. He went to America with the tobacco and cigarette experience he had. Because of that, he got a job in the biggest tobacco factory in the city. For 4 years he worked there, gaining management experience. Then he decided it was time to start his own company, which he named Philip Morris Trading. At the beginning, the company was small, focusing only on handmade cigarettes. But soon the demand for its products grew rapidly. In 1873, the company expanded very fast. Unfortunately, in the same year, Philip died. His wife, Marcia, and his son Leo Bolt took over the company. Bolt had a different business idea compared to his father. Instead of competing only with small companies in the American market, he started buying them one by one until he controlled the handmade cigarette market. By the early 1920s, the Philip Morris Company had become very powerful, acting like a hungry snake swallowing any small company that entered the cigarette market. But they faced one big challenge: how to convince more people to smoke. Then came a new idea. They decided to target women, meaning they wanted to market cigarettes directly to women. In 1924, they created a new division of the company called Barbaro. It launched a cigarette brand with the same name, which today is known as Marlboro. This cigarette spread worldwide and became famous for its red top design. The company advertised this cigarette as less harmful because it had a filter. Their goal was to attract women smokers. But there was still one challenge. At that time, it was considered shameful for women to be seen smoking. Even in Western countries, it was strange to see a woman smoking in public. If she was caught, she could face fines or even jail. So, what could the company do to change this mindset? In the end, the story of Philip Morris shows us how a small tobacco shop in London grew into one of the biggest cigarette companies in the world. It is a story of ambition, clever marketing, and business success. But behind this success, there is also a dark side. Millions of people around the world have suffered from the health problems caused by smoking. The rise of Philip Morris reminds us that not all business victories are good for humanity.